Okay, now that you have seen drawables, styles and themes concept, now let's just see that in action. I'm gonna create a new project here with the name My New UI Design. I'm gonna create an empty activity and finish. In this particular example, I'm going to create a activity and which will be using buttons, and I can use an image button or I can use a normal button by providing a gradient XML file and use that gradient XML file as the background color of a normal button. So we will be able to see that how exactly we can use drawable folder also here, and then we will see how exactly we can use the styles also and themes also, play around with themes also. So first thing first, I'm gonna change this and I'm gonna put a new text view here and I'm gonna call it Drawables, styles and themes. Gonna call it, that's fine. I'm gonna increase the size to 24. That's it. So if I want to create an image button, let me just get an image first. Image of dog here, copy, paste it in your, where exactly you will be putting your images inside your drawable folder, paste. So for different screen sizes, if you have different screen resolution images, you might want to design a different drawable folder. Let's say for HD extra high density pixel, it will be drawable -x HDPI, or for extra high density pixel, it will be drawable -x HDPI. So this, as of right now, this is a default drawable folder. Doesn't really matter if it is a high density pixel device or not, it will use this image only. So here, let's say I want to create an image button. Yeah, image button. Use this image button here, so here, and you can use this dock. If you don't want to give this much height, you can give a particular height also. Let's say 100 dp is more than enough. Okay, so there you go. So that's one way to create a button. You can always go in the text part and see that image button is there. You can play around with it. You can provide on-click attribute here, do image, and you can handle it. Just click on this, Alt Enter, there go. And like if you want to handle, you can put a toast here, dot make text and put this image button clicked and dot length shot dot show. There you go. And if you want to put a normal button, let's say I can drag and drop a normal button, right? And let's say you want to match parent and want to give a height of 100 dp too. Great. So this is a normal button now, but it's a very it's pretty ordinary button. If you want to change the background, one way is just by going here in the background, you select a color. But let's say you want to select not just one color, you want a combination of color. At that point of time, you want you might want to create a gradient color. So how do you create a gradient color? Again, in your drawable, right click here, go to new, create drawable resource, and let's just call my own gradient. Selectors will be generally used for your transitions and all. Right now you want to create a shape, so it will be shape, and what kind of shape you want. Let's say you want rectangle. That's great. And inside this, what you want, let's say you want the corners of the buttons to be a little bit give a radius, whatever the rounded radius you want for your edges. Let's say 10 dp, right? And if you want to mix the color, gradient. If you want to just create a single color, just put solid. So in this way, what exactly I'm trying to do here is I'm defining some properties here of a shape, and then I will use this particular XML file inside that particular button or any view where I want to apply this. So I can directly use this whole file as a complete property to a view. So you will see that I'm creating a gradient here, and then I will put start color. Let's say I want start color to be 99cc00, and let's say end color. Let me put end color 0099cc. Okay, and well, if you just want two colors, that's more than enough. An angle, let's say 45, and type, let's say linear you want to put. But if you want third color also, you can put a center color too. But let's just see with two colors first. So you see these two features will be applied or are included in this particular gradient file. So now I go back in my button or in my XML file, layout file. I go back to my button, and here I put background. Now instead of just passing a single color, I put what, @drawable. Instead of dog, I will put my own gradient. Once I do that, see here, just rebuild your application again. Once you rebuild your application, you can see that there is a gradient, and you can see at the edges there is a radius of 10 dp. So in this way, now it looks pretty good, isn't it? So in this way, you can create your customized buttons and make your buttons look easy, and all the cool ways to design or features you can design with the help of with the help of your Drawable folders, right? So you can even try the 9 patches or layers. I will leave that to you guys. Now let's just talk about style. Okay, let's say, okay, what I just did here is, if you see in my button, this whole thing was the property of my button. All these things are the properties of my button, which is responsible for creating this kind of button. Now let's just say I want to create another button here, and let's just call this button 1, and I want to create this button also. And when I'm creating this button, I want to create it exactly same as my previous button. So how can I do that? Either I copy the same code which I have here, all the attributes inside this also, or there is a simpler way. What is that? If you do not want to use or reuse your application, if you do not want to reuse all your code XML again and again, what you can do is, in your style, you can define a style. So how can you do? Let's say style. Let's say button underscore design. There you go. And here, let's say you want to put all these attributes which you have in this button. Just put those attributes. Let's say like unique background, unique layout. Let's say these things: background, layout. From layout to your center horizontal. You don't need to put all these margin and all, because if you do that, what will happen? All those buttons will be placed at the same place, right? So you put it here. So style, and then you put item. You put it Android layout underscore width. So what's the width you want to put? That would be your match parent. And what's the height you want to put? Again, instead of this, and that would be 100 dp. So I need to define them just once, and I can use them according to my requirement in different views. So let's say I want to use that Android background, right? So here I want to put @drawable my own gradient, right? Let's just say I want these three properties only as of right now to override in each and every button I want to design. But you can always go ahead and design different text also. Okay, let's say I define a text too button, right? So now let's say come back here, I want to do the same thing with this button also. So for that, I don't need this width, height, all these things. All I need is, because width, height is already there, all I need is style. And what kind of style I'm talking about now? Style @ in the style class only, and button design. So when I go here, you can see this button has been designed exactly same like your previous button. So I don't this is how you can reuse your styles also. So it is just for buttons. If you think that this can come very handy when you are designing an application and you want to make that consistency between all the buttons. So you will be creating these styles like this. So that was style. Now let's say I want to use my themes. Well, themes you have been already using up until now. As you can see right now I'm using a theme, a parent theme here where, in my whole application as a style. That is theme.appcompact.light.dark action bar. Now theme gives you the appearances. Theme gives the appearances to your whole application or the activity. I generally use it in your manifest. Inside manifest you can see Android theme. So I'm using the theme for this whole application is this one, that is the app theme, and in that I'm using an app compact theme. If you want to change it, let's say I want to change, this is how my application looks like when I run this particular application as of right now in this particular theme. You can see if I run this application as of right now in theme.appcompact.light.dark action bar, this is how my application looks like right now, right? So if I want to change this, let's say I want to create another style first and app_theme2 and call it parent this time, Android theme dot Android.theme.light.dark action bar. Okay. For material theme, you require the API 21 as minimum. So instead of material, I will use hollow. It will come in further sessions. Dialog light.dark action bar. Yeah, that's great. So let's say I want to use this theme instead of this theme. So if I'm going to use this theme, that is Android.theme.hollow.dark action bar, what I need to do is in your manifest file, instead of defining or referring app theme, I will be referring app_theme2. And at the same time, if I run this application right now, it will crash because this main activity is extending app compact theme. So here also I need to make a small change. I need to make activity, because that's now this activity is now compatible with the theme which you are using here, right? If you're using app compact extends app compact theme, then for that particular activity this theme is required. So let's just run this now and see, you will see a change in your the complete application. Now as you can see, now the theme has been changed, right? As you have changed the theme accordingly, this button is not even working, because that if you go into the code of this particular application, you see this particular image button is using a source compact, and this only works with app compact theme. If you want this to work with this particular theme, you need to use Android src, and now you can put @drawable dog, and you run it now. There you go, right? And you use it, image button click. because I have already handled. These button will not be handled because I haven't really given the code for them. So you can give the code for them too. So that's how you use drawable styles and themes. Thank you.